My dad always says, jak się masz? And I said, dobrze.
My grandfather's Polish.
Oh, fantastic. From
Jeszów.
Oh, from Rzeszów? No.
Rzeszów.
Rzeszów? No.
Yeah, Jeszów.
I have a Polish aunt.
Really?
And yes, and I have lots of Polish friends. Where I come from in Canada, there are a lot of Polish people.
I'm completely Polish, actually. Well, not completely. I mean, I guess it's like something like 75% Polish. My grandparents are Polish immigrants. My true last name is Mauer. My grandmother's last name is Wilk. So it's Wolf and Mauer, which is bricklayer, right?
In Poland, to say hello, I say hello to everybody in Poland. I love you all.
I think it was in Krakow that we had this lunch in a restaurant that's in a cave. You know about this place? That was something.
Oh, I worked in Poland. I made a wonderful film there called Prince of Shadows with the great Pilar Miró. And, God, it was cold there. But I had a wonderful pair of shoes made. They have great shoemakers in Poland. Still, London and Warsaw have great shoemakers.
When I think about Poland, I think that, you know, very faithful people, with big value.
One of the greatest cavalries in the history of mankind was the Polish cavalry in the 1640s, who defeated the Muslims in Austria. And the French sided with the Muslims. But you guys saved Europe. You guys saved Europe.
My father was in the RAF during the war, and he always came and he always told me with great pride of his Polish friends, because his Polish friends, he always said that they were the first people into the cockpit when scramble, you know, when the Germans were above in the planes. He said the Polish pilots would be the first people off the ground because they wanted to get the Germans because of what they'd done to their country, and they were always much admired in my country as very, very brave men. And my father came back with many stories and made many friends and was very pleased to be part of their world.
Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
Two-fingered salute, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
In the army, because apparently it was after a Polish general who lost two fingers in a fight, and then so they would salute like that. That's the first thing that comes into my mind.
Well, one of the things I'm interested in Poland, I mean, I was very taken and impressed with the revolution in Poland, like Czechoslovakia, the Velvet Revolution that came after Lech Walesa led Poland to a new place. Because I'm blessed with being in a country that has freedom, at least at the moment. You're very interested in other countries having that same opportunity, and when one individual can galvanize a group of people to move towards a freedom that doesn't exist, that's pretty impressive. So I'm very admiring of Poland and the Polish people and how they changed their lives and moved to a better place.
They had a very tumultuous history, and that people had fought over this land for centuries and centuries. And I know that the Polish people have been through a lot, especially in the last 60 or 70 years. And so I was very anxious to see what it was going to be like. And being here, it's a beautiful place. I mean, I love Krakow. And what I really like, I like the Polish people. There's a real sense here of people are hungry, they want to change, and I think they want to prove themselves in the world. And that's great.
It's amazing you survived it all. It's amazing you're here. 3 partitions. What is this Polish spirit? I'm fascinated by it. Can you buy it? Can you put it in a bottle? Can you buy Polish spirit? I think you'd sell it all over the world.
Poland is a real big country. I mean, it's a big country, and it's what I really like to say on stage at Gdansk, saying, look at yourself. I mean, you can be proud of yourself. I mean, you have the most influential scientists, filmmakers, musicians.
You know, Krakow was a beautiful city, had a great time. We took a train here to Warsaw, and it's spectacular.
For me, the most important, as I didn't know Warsaw, is the first impression you get when you come off the plane, even driving the car, going to the hotel, to what is the immediate feeling. For me, it's a very international city. It's a city that's exploding. It's beautiful what they rebuild, they recreate. I love the old town. I love some streets. I strongly believe that Poland is going to be the leader because of this kind of international feeling that you have coming here. Culture, paintings, music, even fashion. It's amazing.
Well, I had quite an interesting time in Poland. I was quite fascinated by some of the architecture, you know. Poznan has a couple of very beautiful parks, and I like wandering around a little bit. I went for a bike ride actually one day, and a snowstorm started up, and so I just kept riding through the snowstorm, and I got some of the strangest looks. People like, who's this crazy man riding a bike in the middle of a snowstorm? But, you know, I mean, there was no other way of me getting back. It was either keep riding or walk, you know.
Janusz Kaminski. I've worked with Janusz now. Well, I've made Private Ryan, Catch Me If You Can, and Terminal. So I've worked with Janusz 3 times, and I would say, what is the school of Polish cinematography that you came out of? And we talk about, like, what were the movies that you saw growing up? And he said, oh, there's so many great Polish films you'd just be able to see.
It was an amazing experience, and it was a bit of a roll of the dice because, unlike most American film composers, Maestro Kilar will not play you anything he's written beforehand. You go and you hear what he's done, and you pray that it's good. And I went, and it was great.
I saw a production of Andrzej Wajda's The Idiot, or the last part. He had some Japanese actors and performed it in Krakow, and that was wonderful.
But the last time I saw him at the Vatican, I told him that I admire him also because his work as a poet. And I asked him for permission. I said, may I search into more poems and that we can put it into music? And he told me yes. So I went with my son Placido, and we start to do this kind of work. And I think we have found out some of the poems, and they are very, very human, and shows the personality of him. There are other ones very much related with religion, but these ones, then they are more the human part of the Pope. I think they are very strong.
I love Chopin. So much fun. So hard too. All I could manage was 1 minute and 13 seconds in about 4 months, and then I messed it up.
I enjoy his music very much. Yeah, it's what I love is strong melodies, you know. And he wrote wonderful melodies, you know, and they're still there. You know, isn't it wonderful?
Poland? Wembley, 1973. Oh, yeah, I was there in the stadium. I can remember the goal, absolutely distinct, the ball coming across from the left. I thought he was a little slow. The main thing, that Joseph Conrad, the writer, my favorite, one of my very favorite writers.
Well, I think the passion of Poland is something that strikes me as being the most significant thing. Countries are not about geography. You have landscapes and scenery, rivers and cities, but more important than that, you have people and food and culture, and I think that's the essence of Poland. The spirit of Poland is very powerful.